Good morning. It's an honor to be here. Very, very excited for the possibilities that face us at the University of Kentucky, the SC and SEC, and in just college athletics in general. So it was a great time for me to look at an opportunity such as this. They don't come very often, and when Mitch called me a few months ago, it was a no-brainer. It was a great opportunity. I looked at it because when you think about Kentucky, and to me, growing up, being a big fan of Tubby Smith, Rick Pitino's, you just always saw Kentucky basketball. And so my time in Kentucky for the last 6 months, 7 months, has not been disappointing. And the Big Blue Nation is passionate about their basketball there. The fan base is incredible. It's very hard for me to go anywhere without having to talk about basketball. I can go to Target. I can go to a historic Memorial Coliseum. I can go to Rupp. I can go anywhere in Kentucky, and people want to talk about basketball. So we're very excited to be able to join this wonderful conference. We understand the challenges that lie ahead with the additions of 2 new programs, 2 new powerhouses. I think it solidifies the fact that it is the absolute best conference in the country, and we're looking forward to contributing to it. We want to make sure we do our part. The last 6-7 months, has been great. Testament to my staff. They worked really hard to try to get indoctrinated into Kentucky history, Kentucky traditions, Kentucky basketball, the University of Kentucky, and I think we really assembled a group that I'm excited about. How good will we be right away remains to be seen. But what I do know is that we're going to be able to come out. We're going to play a good brand of basketball. We're going to fight. We're going to play well. And our goal right now is just try to get better each and every day. And it's really helped that when you have your quarterback that follows you with you, Georgia Amore. She and I have been joining at the hip for the last 4.5 years. And the fact that she wanted to continue and follow me here to the University of Kentucky, it's a blessing because now I have another coach. Someone who can really talk to the other student athletes, because with the exception of Georgia and Clara Strack, no one else has ever played for me. And so those 2 are doing a tremendous job of just really helping coach up the other players. As a result, we've had a really good couple of weeks of practice. By no means are we where we want to be, but we have a great group of young people who are working extremely hard to represent us. So we're looking forward to those challenges that lie ahead. And like I said before, our goal is just to contribute and then try to continue to get better and better every day. And if we can continue to do that, I think that good things will happen for us. But we're excited to be a part of this whole situation with the SEC as we move forward. So just happy to be here, and it's been a dream come true. Big Blue Madness the other night, I walked out in front of 24,000 people, and I don't think I've ever been in front of a crowd that big, so crazy for one team, and that was very, very blessing.
All right, we'll take your questions. If you have a question, raise your hand. We'll get a remote mic to you, and remember to identify yourself and the outlet you represent when you ask your question, and we're going to start right here on the front row.
Hi, Coach.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Caroline McCaskis, Lexington Herald Leader. You brought Deja here today. Can you speak to how you've seen her fit into your system and how you'll lean on her, particularly in the wake of the injuries?
Deja Lawrence is, we knew she was going to be special to us, obviously with her experience, playing in different conferences for the University of Charlotte, North Carolina, Charlotte. And she hasn't disappointed. Her leadership, her experience has been very valuable to us. If anything, we've had to tell her to be a little bit more aggressive because she fits exactly what we needed in that spot, and especially with the injuries that we've had. She's willing to step up, and she's becoming more and more comfortable in her role as a leader on a team that she didn't know. And so I've been very excited about her productivity. Her and Georgia combined, it has to be, please somebody check it, double check it. They have to be the oldest backcourt in the country. Both of them are 23 years old. So that's going to benefit us, very well, especially in a conference like this where there's so many talented players. And they'll be able to be our calm within a storm. But Deja's been a tremendous job for us. I'm very proud of her.
Hey, raise your hand if you have a question. Let's go to the second row on the left, and then we'll come right down to the front row on the left.
Hey, Kenny.
How you doing?
Doing good. Zach Gagan with KSR. Talk a lot about your time at Virginia Tech, but you got your head coaching start at James Madison. I'm just curious, what are the philosophies that you started with at James Madison, and do you still use any of those today? And were there things that you quickly had to change? And just just curious about your overall philosophy at James Madison compared to now and how you're the same or different.
You know, one of the things that's followed us from school to school with my staff is family. And, you know, you want to make sure, you know, not only within your team, your coaching staff, you know, everything about it has been about family. I've been fortunate enough to have my daughters around, my whole family around the program, and it just really created a sense of family. And I learned that from my head coach, Lefty Drizel. He taught me that, you know, it's okay to incorporate family with your program. And as a result, you know, there's a closeness. It's a different kind of closeness. Everyone understands that, you know, you're not just a basketball player. You're not just a number. You're not just a position. You're people, your family. And, you know, when people have tough times and, you know, they can definitely come and lean on us for other things than just basketball. And that's really helped in our philosophy. And it's really helped in how our kids play, how they feel out on the court. And it's something that we had at James Madison. And obviously the style is going to play. When I was at James Madison, we were in the CAA, and it was a big jump to go to the ACC. It'd be another jump to come to the SEC. So you always have to evolve, but the one common denominator with every one of my programs was culture and a family-type atmosphere.
Okay, front row.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
AP Stedham, AP and Kelly, as we see. Coach, what's been the theme that's helped you be successful at the different programs? And do you like to have a true point guard? Because I know your guards, they scored a lot of points. Can they have one, or do you like both to handle the ball? Or
You know, obviously, the key is you get good players. You know, I always have a saying, if you want to make some chicken salad, you better get some good chicken. And so we've gone out, you know, at James Madison, I think we had 6 players of the year. Obviously, at Virginia Tech, Elizabeth Kitley, you know, she was a 3-time ACC Player of the Year. And I think the common denominator outside of, you know, the culture is player development. We haven't been fortunate enough where we can get an abundance of McDonald's All-Americans, but what we do get is some players who are willing to work hard, who have a high ceiling and want to push through and work and get better continuously every day. And Georgia is a prime example. Georgia Amore came to us, to Virginia Tech, and her only other Division I offer was University of Portland. And we saw something in her, and what I didn't know was that how hard she would work. And when she got to Virginia Tech, she's a tireless worker. Whether it's on the court, whether it's in film sessions, and that's how she's made herself into an All-American. And you know, with just that type of attitude, it becomes infectious, and it really trickles down to the rest of the team, and everyone wants to get better. So development will always be the cornerstone of what we do. It's what I love to do. And, you know, if I weren't coaching basketball, I'd probably be training kids because I love watching kids get better each and every year, each and every day. And so that's our style, and that's what we really look forward to. And as far as like who it's matter, you evolve. When I was at James Madison, we never had a dominant center, so it was always guards who were the better players. We get to Virginia Tech, and we were fortunate enough to have Elizabeth Kitley, who was a 3-time All-American. So we're going to throw the ball inside, you know. So we just kind of evolved to what our situation is. And this year, I think it'll be a little bit more balanced. We have good guards, and we have some good young post players.
Next question, second row on the left, and then we're going to come to the second row on the right.
Hey, Coach. Jack Pilgrim, KSR. Talk about your Big Blue Madness intro. Where did that come from? That kind of went viral. That was a really cool moment for everybody at Big Blue Madness. And kind of second part of that, how is the excitement surrounding just Kentucky basketball overall with Pope's addition as well? You guys feeding off of one another with just kind of the excitement surrounding just the entire brand of Kentucky basketball.
Well, first and foremost, when I got to Kentucky, Calipari was there, and Cal stayed for a week. I told everybody that the town wasn't big enough for the both of us, so I ran him out. And but you know, then Coach Pope comes in, and you know, it's just an infusion of energy in itself. That's what he is. And so we've been kind of feeding off each other with that. You know, around town, I think it's really caused a lot of excitement around the university and just Kentucky in general. Not that it needed any more, because Kentucky, they're fanatics. And but it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing to be able to be a part of it. The excitement, you know what it is. A little pressure because you want to make sure you do your part, but you want those type of situations. And then, you know, Big Blue Madness. You know, I've seen it on TV, but to experience it was totally different. The floor was unbelievable. Kudos to our marketing department going out and making that happen. I need to talk to Mitch to try to make it full time in Memorial. That would be sweet. But it was fun, a lot of fun. As far as the intro, it did go viral. The outfit, I picked it out. I didn't pick it out, but it was daughter approved. And so I was like, I'm just picking up stuff, and I'm like, this okay? They were like, that's fire. I guess that was okay. And but it worked out pretty well. And getting a lot of people are trying to ask me, where we got that from. But so it wasn't a whole lot of thought that went into it. Just people around me made it happen, made it special.
Good morning, Kenny. Kevin Skarbinski from the SEC blog. You mentioned the influence of Coach Drizel on you from the family aspect of a program. What about on the floor for people who haven't seen your teams play? And you said you adjusted to the talent, but what should we look forward to seeing in terms of playing style this year?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of times people will say the team will take on the personality of their head coach. I wasn't that good, but I always played hard. And that's the one thing that I always expect from my teams. You're not always going to play perfect. You're not always going to execute the right way. But the one thing that you can always control is your energy, your effort, and your attitude. And if you go out and you play hard because, how you do anything is how you'll do everything. And we make sure our kids understand that, from going to class, being on time, being respectful, all that stuff carries over to your team. And, that's something I learned from Coach Drizel. He was a tremendous mentor to me. I didn't even know it at the time. I thought everything that he was doing it to me, but he was actually doing it for me. And I found myself saying a lot of the same things that he said, treating my players the same way that he treated us. And it's just something, it's true mentor. But, it's kind of if you look at Coach Drizel, coach teams, and if you kind of blink and look back at our teams, there's a lot of similarities in the way that they operate and what the expectations are.
Okay, next question, third row in the middle, and then we're going to we got two questions down the front row.
Good morning, Coach.
Morning.
Brad from College Sportscast. I wanted to ask you about, you have several international players on this team, and it looks like you and Coach Rad, that is something that's intentional. Will that continue in your recruiting? Yeah,
it's something that has worked very well for us. As you mentioned, Coach Rad does a tremendous job of understanding the FIBA and the ins and outs of that. And there are a lot of talented players that are all across the country. And I think with the boom in women's popularity in the last few years, it's making it more and more attractive for international players who want to come over. And then it's also opportunities that they get to play at such a high level. So it's worked extremely well for us at the Virginia Tech level. Obviously, Georgia was someone that we had. We had a kid, Matilda Eck, last year, who was a tremendous player. Really fits our system. We have a number this year. They fit our system, the way we play. The way we play is very similar to international basketball, and so they come in and they fit in very seamlessly. We won't go totally to it, but it'd be a good mixture, and it's something that we definitely scour, the world to see if there's great players that will fit our system, and if it is, we would definitely welcome it.
Okay, let's go to the left right here, and then back over to Carolyn.
Hi, Cora Hall with the Knoxville News Sentinel. I just want to ask you, as a coach who consistently sends players to the WNBA, I'm curious your thoughts on this season with the, rise in popularity, ratings, historic growth, but, obviously as all of us saw, a rise in racism and online abuse directed at players. Just what are your thoughts on where the league is at right now and kind of where it goes from here? I'm
a big fan of the WNBA. I think that it's growing the way that it should. There've been so many great players that haven't had an opportunity to play in the WNBA because it was limited spots. And now with the growth of women's basketball, the expansion with the WNBA, I think it's continuing to be seen. I think we're in a very unique situation with it. It almost mirrors back. I'll date myself, but when Larry Bird and Magic Johnson kind of came out, and with the rivalries that they had, it's been comparisons with Caitlin and with Angel in those scenarios, and I think that's something that. If we as women's basketball people can embrace it and market it the right way, I think the boom can happen just like it did back in the days. And we market that situation. The brand of basketball is continuing to get great. The games are unbelievable. The New York Liberty and the Lynx game the other night had me on my seat, and you're watching it, and it's purely entertainment. And so I think we have a responsibility not only as women's basketball WNBA coaches, but college coaches to continue that growth. And we can do that by the entertainment value. If we go out there now, because you have eyes on the game that really haven't been on the game, and so there is entertainment value to it. If we put out a product that will make people want to continue to come back and watch and watch and watch, I think it's a golden time to watch it just explode. And so I'm excited to be a part of it. We want to do our part. But it's also a great thing for our kids to come in. My kids are basketball junkies. They're texting me, "Are you watching this game? Did you see Nafisa Collier do this?" Georgia talks about it, all the time. And now they're becoming fans where 5, 6, 7, 10 years ago, kids didn't even watch the WNBA. And that's no offense, but it wasn't as accessible. Now it's all over the place. They find it. They tell me what channel it's on. So the accessibility of it is helping as well. But we as women's basketball coaches, I think, have to do our part. And if we can continue to do that, I think this is a golden opportunity to watch it boom. And I take that very seriously. We want to put a product out there that's going to bring in the common fan. I want the person who hasn't been to a women's basketball game and they come and they're like, "I'm coming back because that was very enjoyable to watch." And I take that responsibility very seriously.
Next question.
Coach, a few weeks out now from the official debut, in which areas would you still like to see your team improve before November 4th?
Yeah, all of them. We have a long ways to go, but we're tinkering. I think it's well documented. We've had a couple of injuries that really have had us to change how we're going to play this year. We're very tall, with the exception of Deja and Georgia. We're going to be long, athletic, so we're going to have to try to utilize that to our strength. But we got kids who just haven't played for me yet. And so we're really working on that. But we got great leadership. They're looking to get better and better every day. They're hungry. And so we have a lot. We're not going to be anywhere as good in the beginning of the season as I think we will be in the middle or the end. So we're just going to continue to work hard every day and just try to get better in all aspects.
Anybody got one last question? Okay, let's take the last one right there on the left.
We heard you talk about Cassidy Rowe and her blue tears last week at Media Day, but Sanaya Tyler also came back. She could have gone anywhere else, I guess. So what was the conversation with her when she was figuring out if she wanted to stay or leave, and how do you think she'll impact the team this season?
Well, obviously, with this day and age, with the freedom of movement that the transfer portal allows, you can kind of see, your conversation is always different, but you can kind of sit across from a kid and you can talk to them about, their situation, and you can look at their expression to see, if they really want to stay or not. And those two, in general, they just, they exude, confidence and the enjoyment with University of Kentucky. They definitely wanted to be here. And they've been instrumental for us, just trying to help us get acclimated to everything surrounding, not only just in Memorial Coliseum, but, in the town of Lexington. And so they've been great. They've been working hard. For them, they have to get used to a brand new system. So, they've been slowed a little bit. Philosophies are totally different. But they've been working hard every day and looking forward to just trying to get better every day. And you've seen that growth with them. And I think they're going to be able to contribute for us in a very positive way.
I have one final question for the coach. How many episodes were there of the Andy Griffith Show?
A lot. I think it was about 8 seasons. I still watch it. It comes on at 4 o'clock every day on TV Land if you want to watch it. But it's my comfort show. That and Sanford and Son, when I just want to relax from the world. It's kind of like my Calgon. It just takes me away, and I get to watch that. And so it's a lot. It's my comfort show. I've seen every one of them. I can tell you what Barney Fife is going to say before he says it, and I take pride in that.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.